The other day I went to the grocery store and I got all the foods that I needed, and then I wanted a pizza and I was like, no bitch, no. What up, you guys? It's Ixchel, and I'm here today to have a real, raw, and honest conversation with you. We're going to get vulnerable, we're going to get transparent, and we're going to get intentional. So raise your hand if you experienced weight gain during 2020's pandemic with COVID-19. If you have, what you're going to do is pause this video, like it, subscribe, and then later on you'll be leaving me a comment to let me know if you're down for the cause. I really just wanted to come today to talk about the fact that I too gained a lot of weight during 2020. And for me, the reason why it's a little bit more challenging is because in 2019, I actually lost 55 pounds. So to go from losing 55 pounds to now gaining back 40 pounds, you know, it has definitely had a huge effect on me mentally, emotionally, but it also has brought to light some important factors that I want to talk about here today. So some of you may know that I haven't been dealing with some health challenges for a little bit over 2 years now. I don't want to spend time in this video talking about it. So what I will do is leave links below for how you can kind of learn a little bit about my journey. And I'll also post the picture here that you can find on my Instagram to learn some more as well. But nonetheless, in 2019, like I said, I lost 55 pounds. In April, I started to see a functional medicine doctor to help me get a diagnosis and figure out what was going on with me. And she immediately put me on an AIP diet, which is pretty much an autoimmune paleo diet. So it eliminates grains, dairy, gluten, sugar, and anything processed. So I was only really able to eat fruits, vegetables, and meats. And I lost a significant amount of weight eating that way. I was unable to exercise. I did not have the energy or the mental capacity to work out. So it was literally based on diet. And it just shows how crucial what you eat affects, you know, the functionalities within your body. But anyway, so I ate that way for a while, and then in July I learned that I had a lot of food sensitivities and food allergies, which cause inflammation, and it causes your body to hold on to stored fat because it is a way of protecting your immune system from dealing with the overburden of those toxins. So once I eliminated that, then I lost a lot more weight, and I got down to 130 pounds. Now I will say that 130 to me, I did look a little scrawny because I wasn't able to work out, so I really didn't have much muscle definition. And in hindsight now, if I could go back to that and work up, I would, rather than being where I am to work it back down. But nonetheless, I can't do anything about that. I have to focus on where I am right now. So during the pandemic, I will say that I allowed myself to turn to food for comfort. I think we all have our vices. We all have the things that help us to cope and provide us comfort. For some people it's drugs, for some people it's alcohol, for some people it's retail therapy, for some people it's sex, and for people like me it's food. I mean, I've been a greedy bitch. Like, I was 12 years old coming home from school making T-bone steaks on the George Foreman grill as a snack. So a bitch been greedy, okay? I've been greedy. But nonetheless, that does not, you know, justify the fact that as you grow older and you know better, you gotta do better. So what I really realized that the weight that I hold is a trigger for me. It creates emotional and mental stress for myself, and it has created a lot of trauma. For a decade, I struggled with my weight. I was very insecure. I was very unhappy. I hated the way I looked. I hated getting dressed. I hated you know, my appearance, and I knew that people were talking shit about me, which who cares now, but I knew that people were talking shit about me, and it affected me. But I could not make the necessary changes, like, because food was my comfort. So anytime I felt anything, I was turning to food, and it just did not allow me to get to the place that I wanted to get to. I think it's very important to look at the unhealthy relationship that you have with some of these vices. And you know, in doing so, I look back and I realized the different stages of relationships that I've had with food. You know, originally it was just kind of doing whatever. Like I can eat. I'm not gonna gain weight. I'm not gonna gain weight. And then a couple of years down the line, you look like Baby Beluga, and you're like, damn, how did this happen? You know how it happened, but nonetheless, it's okay. And then when you're ill, you're so desperate to feel better. You're willing to do any and everything to help you get over that hump. And when the doctor put me on the diet, it was literally out of desperation. Like when she said that there was a possibility that it was going to make me feel better, I was with it. I didn't hesitate. There was no thought like to cut those things out because I was so desperate to feel better. It had nothing to do with weight. It had absolutely nothing to do with losing weight. And with that not being my focus, I lost weight. I may not necessarily have felt better, if you know, in the sense of the symptoms that I experienced from my illness, but I started to feel much more confident and less insecure about the way that I looked. I felt good. I felt so good about the fact that I was losing weight. A lot of people were telling me like how radiant I was at that time, and I looked like I was like the healthiest, but inside I really was not healthy, you know, as far as dealing with the chronic illness. But not having that weight on me lifted a lot of weight off my shoulders. And then when I found out about the food allergies, I then started to have a fear-based relationship with food. So we went from desperation to fear-based, and now I was really afraid to eat because I was allergic to like common foods, eggs, milk and dairy, milk and butter, avocados, broccoli, kale. Like I was like, how can you be reacting to vegetables? But my body was in such a fragile state that I could not tolerate a lot of the healthy components in some of those foods, like sulfur. And then coming to a place where we're dealing with this pandemic and people were home, I started to get more comfortable and looking for the comfort through food. You know, when I was home by myself, and I was afraid to eat because I didn't want to feel bad. I didn't want to feel like I couldn't get out the bed, or I couldn't get myself water. I couldn't go to the restroom without somebody being present, because that has happened. So now with the pandemic hitting and, you know, people working from home, I felt a little bit more comfortable to try a little something here, a little something there, you know. Now I'm in a place where I'm identifying and realizing various relationships that I have had with food, and I am working to get to a place where we see eye to eye. Like there is no fear, there is no desperation, there is no look for comfort. It is the fact that food is fuel, and I need to be giving my body the things that I know that it needs to be healthy and for longevity. I'm still dealing with these health challenges, and I had you know, the needle kind of move in the opposite direction, and I know that a part of that is because of the way that I went back, the things that I went back to eat. I was not checking labels. I was eating out a lot, and when you eat out, you don't know what's in your food. You don't know the source. You don't know you know, the ingredients. You have no idea. And I think that that is a way more important component to your diet than not eating grains and not eating dairy and not eating all those things. You can have those things, but it is about the source. And we can talk about that in a later video if that's some information that you want, because I definitely have the blueprint. And if you know me, you know that I promote making healthy lifestyle changes, because it's so crucial, it's so important. And yes, I fell off the bandwagon, but I know exactly what to do to get back, and I'm going to do that. I really wanted to make this video to show us that, again, healing is not linear. Our journeys are not linear. You don't go from point A to point Z. There's always gonna be some type of that happens through the process, and we have to embrace that, you know. And I think that for 2021, something that I don't want to do is I don't want to set goals. I don't want to tell myself, oh my God, I need to lose 20 pounds by X, Y, and Z. My birthday is at the end of this month, and while I do want to drop 20 pounds by my birthday, I realize that that is not that it's setting myself up for failure, but it is putting me in a box when really I should be looking at it from a standpoint as I'm going to do what I can this month to be more healthy and give my body the things that it needs, so that way we can thrive. That allows you to be creative in that process, where you don't say, I have to work out 5 days a week. I want to move in some way, and that can look very different. That can be dancing, that can be walking, that can be cleaning up the house. Whatever it is that's movement to you, that is a much better approach to your brain and your body and the things that you want to accomplish than saying, I need to work out 5 days a week. Because some days you're not gonna necessarily feel like doing a high intensity workout. Some days that may look like taking a walk. And as long as you're moving, you're doing something towards that. So I want to work on letting go of, I want to work on letting go of the pressure that I put on myself, the negative self-talk that I give myself, and embracing it much more. I really am just looking at the situation like, boo, you good either way. If you don't drop 20 pounds by your birthday, you still gonna look good. You're beautiful on the inside and the outside, and the weight doesn't matter. And for a long time, it really, really defined me. And I won't deny the fact that it is a trigger for me, and I don't want to have this weight on me. Losing the weight, I realized that because I always felt like I wanted to be thick and curvy and yada, yada, yada. And when I lost the weight, I was like, I really don't want to be thick and curvy. I want to feel good in my clothes. I want to be able to put anything on and it feels good. So now coming back to this place of where I got a little more pushing in the cushion in certain areas, I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, this is definitely not what I want. I don't want to be here, and I don't have to stay here. I will progress and move forward past this. It's just about acknowledging the bumps in the road and giving yourself grace for falling off, because it happens. It's gonna happen. So I really just wanted to make this video to talk about that, and I'm hoping that you guys are well and safe. If you are interested in going on this journey with me, please let me know. I can do more videos talking about how to make necessary changes to your lifestyle. I actually post a lot of these things on my Instagram, so if you're not following me, please follow me on Instagram, and let's stay connected. Let's do this together. We're in this together. We're gonna win this year, 2021. It's about winning. It's about healing. It's about evolution. It's about changing. It's about letting go. It's about evolving. So that's where we are. That's what we're gonna do, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing what this year is going to bring for myself, for you, and for everyone around me. So, and I definitely don't want to sit here and act like it's easy, because the shit is hard. The other day I went to the grocery store and I got all the foods that I needed, and then I wanted a pizza, and I was like, no, bitch. No, you're going to do the right thing. You're going to take care of yourself, and it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy life, because that's what it's here for. You want to enjoy it. But I think that it's more important to feel good doing it and to feel good about what you're doing in life. So thank you guys. I appreciate you for watching this video. Please make sure that you subscribe, you comment, and let me know if you want more information on how to adapt this lifestyle. And yeah, let's get it. Let's move forward. So thank you. Appreciate you. And I'll see you later.